Well, welcome again. My name is Eric Lassard. I'm on the product marketing team at Commerce Cloud. I'm here today with Jim Lynch and Daniel Murawski. And these guys are the technical guys who will take you through really the key development components. But as today is, we're talking about introduction to Commerce Cloud for developers, we did want to give you a brief overview of Commerce Cloud. And before we do that, just want to remind you to make your purchasing decisions based on products and services currently available. So today, we're going to cover 4 things, and then we'll actually open the mic up for some Q&A. So first, we're going to talk about Commerce Cloud, an introduction to Commerce Cloud. We're going to do a demo and show some customer examples. And then we're going to drill down into the platform and show how it's ease of development and how you can develop with Commerce Cloud, and do a demo there that shows some basic functionality. And lastly, we'll end with how you can plug into our ecosystem. Our partner ecosystem we call Link, which is our extensible platform of technology partners. So let's get started. So at Commerce Cloud, we're focused on the retail e-commerce space, and that's changed over time. Today, it's the connected shopper who's transforming retail. Previously, you would go into the brick and mortar stores, or previously you go direct to an e-commerce website. But today, those lines have blurred, and 50% of e-commerce traffic is coming from mobile. And they're coming from areas in mobile such as search through SEO, marketplaces like Amazon, but most interestingly, also through social media. We actually, at Commerce Cloud, we have over 2,000 customer sites, and every quarter we come out with a new shopping index. And year over year, we've seen social interactions and shopping grow 100% year over year, and it's now becoming a real big play within commerce today. So at Commerce Cloud, we're enabling that, and we're enabling you, retailers, to connect with this connected customer. We enable it at scale. And we enable this in order to give retailers the ability to scale their business across the omni-channel, both in-store and online. When we came up with this slide, we talked to a number of retailers, right? And they're concerned about their previous IT organization, disparate and duplicative systems, complex back-end integrations, and not being able to keep up with the demands of the shopper today. And that's what we at Commerce Cloud, we deliver. We deliver a comprehensive digital e-commerce experience across mobile, web, social, and in-store. We provide intelligent experiences with Einstein to personalize the shopping experience and empower your teams with artificial intelligence. So connecting shoppers with the right product at the right time, and also connecting marketers and merchandisers with the information that they need in order to make the right business decisions with AI. So I mentioned at scale, and we're powering over 2,700 websites, and we're doing over 21 billion in sales, and these are stats from last year, globally, across 50 countries, and we have over 440 million unique monthly online shoppers. So it really shows the breadth of the capabilities here at Commerce Cloud across our full portfolio. And as I mentioned, not only do we have that digital commerce experience, that extends to order management, so you can unify your back-end operations, as well as endless aisle, which connects into the in-store experience, so you can deliver things like click and collect. So who are our brands? Our brands are the leading retailers in the marketplace. You'll see later on today at Mark Benioff's keynote, Adidas. He'll be wearing his Adidas shoes, and he'll be showing how Salesforce is powering the Adidas experience. If you go to the campground, you'll see a dedicated Adidas experience with Commerce Cloud. We're powering global brands at scale, and we're doing that across the global marketplace. So to show you some examples of these sites, I want to introduce you to Jim, who can take you through some sites and some more of the detail there.
Thanks, Eric. For those of you standing in back, there are still a couple seats up front if you do want to sit down. I did want to kind of talk you all through some of the things that we provide our development ecosystem to build these interesting experiences on Commerce Cloud. And start out by showing you, some of those experiences, and then Daniel will walk through like exactly how you can do some of those customizations and develop those interesting things using our tools. What I thought we would do is walk through a few example customers. And this here is Coach. And Coach has a very high-end luxury kind of product set and a demographic that they're targeting, right? And a big part of their brand and their experience on their site is related to content. And they have really strong content experiences on their site. So that you can go here and learn about the different places that people bring their Coach bags, the different experiences that they have wearing Coach. And it really helps encourage people who visit the site to feel more affinity and more ingrained and attuned to the brand based on these different content assets that they provide here, leveraging Commerce Cloud, I should say. We also have Patagonia. Patagonia is another customer who has a really strong experience and a real strong storefront that's built on top of Commerce Cloud. You can see here they have a Hawaiian shirt, kind of keeping in the Ohana theme, where you can go in and see and look at the different variations, look at the different sizes, see what it looks like from different angles, and then go through the process of selecting your size and putting this product in your cart. You can also see some Einstein-driven recommendations here too. So if you're interested in this shirt, maybe you like some other kind of Hawaiian funky-looking shorts. And this is based on both what you have looked at in the past, but also similar shoppers and what they've looked at in the past and purchased based on kind of similarities that you have and inferences that our Einstein predictive engine is able to apply to what this shopper might be interested in from a product perspective. And then Eric mentioned the Adidas experience. Mark Benioff tweeted he has some custom Dreamforce-specific superstars that are kind of very plain. They're black, and they say Dreamforce on them, and they're superstars. But maybe you want to make yours a little bit more funky. And Commerce Cloud allows you to have a really cool experience to let a shopper customize what a shoe looks like or what a shirt looks like and make it really your own as a shopper. Because that's really what a lot of shoppers want now, is they want something that is uniquely them and uniquely specific to them and their preferences and their colors and their tastes. So you can go here and create like a really funky superstar that has a lot of really neat colors and kind of designs to it, and then go through that whole process either on the desktop or on our mobile site experience. And you can colorize each section of the shoe, the laces, you can change the sole, and then once you've picked what's interesting to you, you go through and you can just put that product in your cart, be checking out using Apple Pay, and be on your way. And then lastly, we're going to show you the reference application that we provide. And this is how all of our Commerce Cloud merchants start their experiences building storefronts with Commerce Cloud. And this is something that we provide out of the box. It's a set of open source JavaScript code that's an implementation of Commerce Cloud. And all of our merchants and their partners take this, reskin it, put in your product, your content, your styling, and make the experience your own. But we get you 80% of the way there out of the box. So you're not having to build a site on top of our APIs from scratch, and instead use our mobile-first reference application as a starting point for it. And we've recently gone through a full redesign process here of this reference application based on some of the data that we saw around mobile usage and mobile experiences. So we've gone through a redesign process. We've looked at the 500 million shopper visits that we see during a holiday period and infer some of the different kind of data-driven design inferences that we can make to how to have a really successful mobile experience that's really optimized towards turning the people that visit your site into people that buy products from you. A couple of those noteworthy items are the search bar here. We saw on mobile devices that search usage was something around 30% higher than it is on desktop. And search is really kind of at the starting point of discovering products that you're interested in, finding those products, and then going through the process of adding them to basket and buying them. So we've made the search bar really easy to find and easier to discover here in the header, so you can go through and search and find things that you want really quickly and easily on your phone. The other thing you can do is drill into a specific category. One thing that we've done with Einstein is add in predictive sort. So now the list of products that I see when I'm looking at dresses will be different than the list of products that you might see based on my previous browsing activity, the things that I've bought in the past, the things that I've shown interest in the past, versus your own browsing activity. And we're really excited about how Einstein can have more of provide a more tailored, customized approach to a storefront, to a shopping experience, so that you're seeing the things that are most interesting and relevant to you, kind of out of the box without having to look too hard to find it. Then as you drill into the product detail page, another thing that we saw looking at the data of our shopping visits is the customers that did really well on mobile were those that had really easy to discover and easy to find, add to cart, and other call to action buttons on their pages. So when someone shows up in your product page, what do you want them to do? You want them to find their size and add that product to your cart. So we made that sticky here so that it's always available, so that if I'm scrolling down and looking at different variations of colors or different styles, or I'm looking at some of the details about something that I'm looking at, I don't have to scroll back up and figure out where I go to just actually buy this thing. I can just click add to cart here, and it's there, it's always available. And then we've carried that learning through the whole checkout flow. So once we add this product to the cart, and it's in our cart, and we go through the checkout process, every kind of preferred action button is sticky there, available on mobile, so that you don't have to discover where to go to add a shipping address, where to go to continue through to payment, where to go to click that place order button, which is ultimately what we want to get a shopper to do on our storefronts. So this is the new mobile first reference architecture that our customers use, as I said, as the basis for their sites with Commerce Cloud. And now we're going to just toggle back 2 slides and turn it over to Daniel, who's going to walk you through some of those customizations and how you can actually make some of the changes to our reference application to start making it your own site. One of the things you'll notice here is that he'll be blending some code changes as well as some configuration changes. So what we like to do is have kind of a good balance of being able to have a really customized, unique user experience, but also be able to manage your business in configuration and with clicks in our admin console, which we call the business manager, rather than always having to leverage a developer to make changes to your content or your promotions and stuff like that. So I'm going to turn it over to Daniel now.
Thanks a lot, Jim.
Thank you.
So as Jim already mentioned, we're seeing the desktop view of our mobile first reference architecture now. And so this comes out of the box, right? You don't have to code a single line of code to see this. You don't have to merchandise anything because it comes with a demo catalog too that contains clothes and, for example, electronics. So I'm a huge fan of video games. Let's check out what our demo catalog has to sell. This is the desktop category view. If you scroll down a bit, you see like the games, and on the left-hand side you have the filters. You can filter by price, you can filter by category, you can you can change the sorting, and yeah, let's check out that yoga game on the top left. This is the product detail page, also pretty standard and out of the box without a single line of code. Now imagine you have or are a merchant that has maybe trouble selling certain products like this one, and he wants to maybe add some kind of shout out on the product detail page to tell the customer that the product is somehow special. Maybe as simple as this, by just putting special product below the title. So how do we do that? We have to find maybe the template first, the HTML template, and add that sub-headline to the template. Quick side note, I'm not doing any live coding, so it will be like a coding slideshow. If you want to see some live coding or put your hands on the code yourself, be sure to visit the Developer Forest and the Commerce Cloud booth. So in order to find the corresponding template that we're looking at here, we have a tool called the Storefront Toolkit. It's that little fellow on the upper left. And if we click it, we eventually see a menu. Let me zoom that in for you, which shows the options that I get. This is working on every instances except the production instance. So now I can get some information about the content, the page, which we are using now, also cache information in case you have a product listing page. You can see search information, like what did you search for, what hits did you get, and so on. And also very useful for development is the request log, where you can see, for example, error messages that appeared while rendering the page. So if we enable that page information tool, we can now hover the page, in this case, the whole page, and that yellow pop-up will show us what's involved in the page rendering. I'll zoom that in again. We see that there is one template involved. It's the product details.isml. We have one controller, and we have a local include, which includes another template. So for now, we're going to focus on this template. ISML, by the way, stands for Internet Shop Markup Language, which is like some kind of HTML derivative, which adds dynamic content to a static HTML page. You can actually click on that link if you set up your IDE correctly. In this case, we will use Visual Studio Code, which has a decent plugin for uploading code, debugging, etc. So this is what the template looks like. Luckily, we have some comments in there, like we have the breadcrumbs, we have product name, attributes, and the quantity drop-down menu on the very bottom. And I think we're interested in this line of code, which is the level 1 heading that renders the product title. And this, by the way, is our notation. It goes like dollar curly bracket, and then some kind of notation. In this case, some product name, which is probably the title of the product. So in order to add a second level heading, we will just put it like this and add like an H2 with a red font printing special product. And there is an ISIF tag around it, which means it's basically an if-else. And in this case, the condition is always true because we have to figure out how we can tell that a product is special. And therefore, let's head to the business manager, which is like our backend tool. And there in the administration panel, we have the site development tools. And we're interested in that system object types tool, which will, once opened, show us our system objects. We have, for example, the basket there. We have the catalog, category object, coupon object, and so on. And if we scroll down, we will eventually find the product object. And if we click it, it says, as a description, this is the product object, the object type representing products. And if we go to that attribute definitions panel now, we will see all attributes that this object has. And also, we are able, if we have a new button here, so we are able to add a new attribute to that system object. And if we do so, we will get a form where we can enter all the data. For now, we'll just call our attribute is special, put some naming and help text in there, and I think a Boolean is enough to display that heading. So we're all set with the attribute, but now we have to tell, for example, the yoga game that it is special. So let's head over to the product merchandising tool, which is in the merchant tools panel. There we have a basic search field, and if I enter yoga there, eventually we will find that game. So let's open it. There it is. So we can now start to edit the product, and if we scroll down, maybe we will find that special product, which is a drop-down because a Boolean obviously doesn't have any text to enter. So let's set it to yes, and save it. And now if we go back to the template code, it still says always print that special product shoutout. So we have to somehow tell it the condition for that if branch. And you would think like you would just enter product.isSpecial equals true, but unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to call it, every custom attribute, because we just created a custom own attribute, is always collected in a collection called custom. So now we have to enter product.custom.isSpecial. Any attribute that we add as a custom attribute will go into that collection, and we can easily access it from there. So now, if a product has that attribute set to true, we will print that shoutout. Let's check out if it works. It works for the yoga game. But what about the other games? It's not there. Cool, seems to work. So this is how we customize our storefront, just a basic example. And if you want to see more of this or more on how we customize the storefront, be sure to visit my session on Thursday, 9 a.m. in the Palace Hotel. And now back to Jim for the platform and ease of development part.
Cool. Thanks, Daniel. So now that you've seen how we do some of these customizations, thought we could spend a few minutes just talking about what are the tools and what are the capabilities that we provide as Commerce Cloud to developers to make that happen. It's all built on top of a platform that we've had running as part of Demandware and now Commerce Cloud within Salesforce for the better part of 12 or 13 years. We average 8 to 9 releases per year, and all of the innovation that we release with each major release is available to all of our customers instantly and automatically in a continuous upgrade approach. We have a strong set of APIs that are REST-based APIs that we call our Open Commerce or OCAPI APIs. And then Eric mentioned the Link ecosystem, which is our version of the App Exchange, which is complementary services that you can install into your storefront to extend the different experiences and things that you provide to shoppers. We have a couple of things that I wanted to call out in terms of like how you build all these great experiences and some of the technologies that are in place and available to you for mobile sites and mobile apps and the different social channels and stuff that Eric mentioned. We have made a lot of investments over the last couple of years to focus on giving developers the ability to use the open standards and the open technologies that you want to use and are familiar with in the open market, right? We previously, or over the last couple of years, have invested in a server-side JavaScript development platform that is very similar to Node or Express, and that's the way you build a storefront with Commerce Cloud. And using things like these open JavaScript technologies, REST-based APIs, we hope that Commerce Cloud development is very familiar to you if you've worked with some of these technologies in the past. We've also made a lot of investments in making it easier for you to use the tools that you want to use to build sites. So we're not locked into any specific IDE or editor. Daniel uses VS Code just because that seems to be the hot one of the day. But we have developers using Atom and WebStorm and Sublime Text and all the different popular IDEs and editors that are out there. We even have some that are using Eclipse, believe it or not. And all of this is built on top of our cloud delivery model. And not unlike Salesforce proper and the Service Cloud and Sales Cloud, we have a really strong team that delivers our application, which over the course of our history with 4 nines of reliability, through the peak periods of Black Friday, which is our busiest day of the year, and Cyber Monday, and it provides all these multi-tenant scalable capabilities to you as developers in a way that you don't have to worry about them, right? If something happens with a server at 2 a.m. on Tuesday, you don't have to worry about it. We have a team that focuses on that and providing kind of that service and reliability for our customers and our merchants. The other really interesting and exciting thing that is coming now that we're part of Salesforce is aligning with some of the things you might have heard about around Salesforce DX. As I mentioned, we've made a lot of investments in kind of source-driven development and being open and providing flexibility on tooling and technologies and stuff like that. But we also think there's more that we can be doing to align with DX around continuous integration and delivery. Providing really robust set of tools and capabilities so that you can not only develop code really quickly and easily, but also deploy it to a sandbox or a test environment, run a bunch of automated tests against it, validate everything's working, and then push it into production, all in a really automated and efficient way so that it's really kind of quick and easy to get things out there and innovate fast. So we have more information about, skip by that. We have more information about our investments in continuous integration and sandboxes and some of the first things that we're doing to align with DX in a separate session tomorrow morning. I believe it's at 10:30 in the developer theater. I think it's one of the theaters around the campground. I would definitely encourage you to attend that if you're looking to learn more about that as well. And then lastly, we have mentioned the Link Technology Partner Program, which is our App Exchange, right? And the real takeaway here is, as a merchant, I think this is really interesting and exciting because it provides a lot of capabilities that we don't have within Commerce Cloud, make them available to you in a real easy to consume and install and enable way. So complementary things like ratings and reviews, different content from social channels, and different payment and tax integrations and integration with your back office system and stuff like that. Our Link ecosystem provides all those capabilities and it makes them available to you to install really quickly. If you happen to be an ISV within the App Exchange community, our Link marketplace might be really interesting to you as well, because this might be a different way for you to connect with Salesforce customers and provide your services to them to take advantage of. So a couple of call-outs before we turn things over to questioning, or to questions, I should say. We do have a number of demo booths in the developer forest. We have a developer-oriented booth. We do have a more business demo-oriented booth in the campground, and a big presence, obviously, in the marketing and commerce lodge in the Palace Hotel. We do have a presence on developer.salesforce.com, commercecloud.com, and we do have a couple of Trailhead modules for Commerce Cloud Basics to kind of learn the fundamentals of what is Commerce Cloud and some of the features that we provide. But within the developer ecosystem, we're going to be investing a lot more in Trailhead content for kind of educating both kind of this intro-level developer stuff, as well as up to the 200 and 300 level more advanced development courseware within Trailhead. And I think that's really exciting for us to be able to leverage some of the Salesforce capabilities there. So with that, I'll say thank you and definitely turn things over to questions for anything that you guys wanted to learn more about or had questions about any of us on. Certainly happy to stick around. Yep.
Do you have access to like a developer account where you just sign up and make some goals?
So we provide sandboxes to our customers and our partners. If you do want to learn more about what it takes to get a sandbox, I would encourage you to come by one of the booths and we can help you out there, or just kind of find us afterwards. It does require, right now anyway, you have a relationship with us as a Commerce Cloud merchant. But that is something as part of DX, and some of the investments we're making in sandbox environments I think will be really interesting, is providing more of a kind of a Trailhead experience where you can start a demo environment, work through some development use cases, and then kind of have that more of a turnkey solution. And that's something I think we're going to be trying to roll out at some point next year. Yep.
Do you have any information about, from like a product roadmap perspective, on integrating with Salesforce proper in the future with Commerce Cloud? Because it's kind of pretty separate from the rest of the Salesforce.com and
Yeah.
Salesforce products at this point.
Yeah, so we have a couple of integrations. We have a Marketing Cloud integration that's available now, and are working on some other integrations around Service Cloud, Live Agent, and some of the other use cases there. We do have a roadmap session that is Wednesday at 11 a.m. that is a Commerce Cloud roadmap session in our big keynote, and I think there'll be a lot of discussion around that. I mean, the ultimate vision is part of, I think, why we were brought into the Salesforce family is some of the different similarities and kind of complementary aspects of being able to integrate Commerce Cloud with Sales Cloud, with Service Cloud. And long term, that's definitely the strategy, right? Is have that single view of the customer that Mark Benioff's always talking about. And obviously, for a B2C retailer or brand, your Commerce Cloud storefront is a big part of that. And it's going to be a big part of what we invest in over the next couple of years. Other questions?
Great.
Cool. Well, we'll stick around for a few minutes if you have any further questions or you want to talk to us. Really appreciate you joining us today, and hope you have a great week here at Dreamforce.
Thank you.
Thank you.